Welcome back to our last session on Google Forms. In today's session, I'm going to highlight two key teaching themes. I'm going to swing back and model 3 different question strategies that I didn't model previously. I'm also going to talk about collaboration. For example, if there are 4 teachers in 3rd grade and they would like to have a Google Form assessment every Friday, there's a way you can expedite this and save a lot of time. If each teacher designs one quiz and they share their individual work, then this group of teachers is only making one quiz each month, and their students have access to all 4 quizzes. I will model that later on in today's video. Let's get started with this very first example. For this question, I'm going to model linear scale. Let me scoot down the screen just a little bit. I'm going to click on the plus button right here in order to generate a new question. From the drop-down menu over here on the right-hand side, I'm going to select linear scale. In this area, I'm going to construct the question. In this region over here, I can utilize either of these items to determine my lesser value and my greater value. In this linear scale, what is the smallest number and what is the largest number based on the question that you have formed? Additionally, in this region over here, you can either leave these labels open and empty, or you can place words in this region to guide your respondents. Now that I've constructed my question, I'm going to scoot over here to this tab so you see what it looks like for the user to interact with this question. Yes, there is a duplicate. I have the question twice because that's what happened over in the construction space of this Google form. The user in this space can then determine the value they think is most appropriate for this question. Only one answer is reasonable for this question. I'm now going to scoot back over here to the left to head back to that construction space so I can model the next question. I'm going to scoot down the screen just a little bit. I'm going to choose the plus symbol in order to design a new question. Inside this space, I'm going to use the drop-down menu, and this time I'm going to choose a multiple choice grid. For this question, I'm going to pretend that staff have an opportunity to choose what they would like for a sandwich option on Wednesday. Let me construct that question here. Along the rows, I'm going to type out first choice, second choice, and third choice. Using the handles on the left, I can move any of these if I find that to be most efficient. For this question, first, second, and third represent the most efficient presentation for these options. Over here on the right, I'm going to give my users 3 choices: ham sandwich, chicken sandwich, and tuna sandwich. I can use the X's in this area and this area to remove any unnecessary responses. Let me now head over to the adjacent tab to see what it looks like for the user to respond to this question. In this space, the users would choose their first choice sandwich, their second choice sandwich, and their third choice sandwich in this area. They are forced to make a choice for all 3 of these. They cannot disengage from the question by leaving any section blank. I'm now going to scoot back over to the construction area and move on to that third question option. For the third question in today's sample, I'm going to utilize that same menu on the right-hand side. I'm going to click the plus symbol to generate a brand new question. Using this drop-down menu, I am going to choose Checkbox Grid. In this situation, users can choose more than one response option for each of the columns. For the example I am providing here, it will be an exercise log. Along the rows, the activity will be recorded. In the columns, I'm going to choose days of the week. Much like many of our previous questions, you will notice right here that you, the designer, can add an image if that is most helpful for the question. Also note, the duplicate button is still located here. The delete button is still located here. Whether or not the user is required to respond to the question is still located here. And then you also have the More button in this area. Let me go ahead and type the days of the week. Now that I have completed that task, I'm going to scoot over to the rows and identify the different exercises that could have been performed during the week. Now that I have constructed that information, let me head over to this tab so that you can see what it looks like for the user. For each of the days of the week located up here, you'll notice that the user has the ability to respond with one singular item or more than one singular item for each of the columns. It is probably appropriate to also include the word nothing in this region, because if I leave any column empty, you'll notice that there is an error response in this area. I can easily remedy that by heading back over here to the construction area, and then in Add Row, I can identify nothing as an option. Let me head back to the user space. Let me refresh that area, and you'll see what that looks like. You'll notice here that nothing is now a category, and right over here on Friday, I can tick the box that says nothing. There was no activity to record for that specific day. I am now going to transition to the next portion of the training where I model how to share the form with other educators. The last strategy that I would like to share with you is the idea of sharing a form with another teacher. I'm going to come to the ABC t-shirts in here. I'm going to pretend that this is the one that I want to share with teachers. It's obviously not perfect. It's filled with a lot of flaws, but for the purpose of this training, I'm satisfied using this as my sample. I'm going to click on this item one time. I'm going to right click on this item one time, and I actually want to make a copy of this one. I don't want to share the original with anyone. I want to share a copy because I don't want them to override, delete, change, alter, impact the form that I'm already using with my students. No, thank you. I want them to have a fresh, brand new copy of their own. Here is another reason why making a copy is essential. You may not want the data that is specific to your students to be shared with other teachers. And as other teachers share these quizzes with their students, it will be a data mess inside of the spreadsheet because you will have several students with all of their data populating into the spreadsheet. Granted, in some situations this is fantastic. However, that's probably not your end goal most of the time. So by using the right click option, I access this menu. When I access this menu, I want to click one time where it says make a copy so that I'm making a copy that I can share with others. Now it says copy of, it's exactly the same, all the features, etc. From this copy, I now want to right click followed by share. In this space, maybe I want to share it with the whole third grade team because they would like to use it, or the fourth grade team. Obviously, it's not a quiz. In reality, I wouldn't share a resource like this that's filled with flaws with my team. I would actually share with them something that's fully complete and ready to go, like the quizzes that I've modeled in other videos. In this situation over here, I'm going to right click followed by share, and then I want to share this with my third grade team because this particular, I'll use air quotes, this particular quiz is phenomenal and I want everybody else to be able to use it as well. In this space, I am going to type the names of all of the teachers from my third grade team so that they have access to it as well. Right now it's restricted and only those with the link have access to it, but I want to bring other individuals into this space. Within this space, I am searching for individuals who are a part of my organization. Once I have located their name in this drop-down menu, I click once and it's automatically populated into this upper region. Once I have selected all of the awesome people that I feel should have access to this, I do want to give them access to be editors. On their end, when they receive my copy, they're actually going to make a copy of my copy so that all three of these individuals are not manipulating the same one simultaneously, because they want a fresh copy that only belongs to them, that other individuals cannot come in and ruin. So they would make a copy of the copy and they can name it whatever they want to. If it's teacher A, she could put the letter A in front of it, and then whatever the name of the quiz is. Teacher B could put the letter B in front of it, or they could put their name or their initials or their room number or whatever identifiers they want. So now they have their own version. In less than 2 minutes, they have access to a resource that I spent an hour on. And if all four of us design one each month, that's only 25% of the work for the entire school year. So this is how Google Forms becomes collaborative, where we as a team take a portion of the work, but we can share those resources over and over again throughout the year. And each of us can utilize those same quizzes. From this point, I want to make sure that the individuals up here have the capacity to be editors. I can type a message if I want to, I don't have to. And then by choosing the send button right here, Google will let them know that this resource is available to them. This resource will be deposited into the shared with me space. And if your recipient is unable to find it swiftly, they can scoot over here to where it says shared with me, and that's where they could find the resource quickly and easily. Team, thank you so much for participating in all of these videos. It has been delightful working with you. Best of luck to you if you are completing the Thinkific task. Thank you again so much and have a great day.